In my opinion, the biggest obstacle you're going to face to lose fat and get jacked in 2025 is an abundance of information. Any questions that you may have about getting lean and building muscle is available at your fingertips within a split second. Now, on the surface, that may seem like a good thing. After all, when I reflect back to when I first started working out and transforming my body, I'd rely on purchasing textbooks or waiting a full month for the latest issue of the Muscle Mags to come out. Now, there is a downside to having all this information available to us in a split second, and number one is the overwhelm that comes from it, and it can cause paralysis by analysis and indecision because there's so much information out there, you don't know what to choose, so you end up not getting started. Or in another case, the exact opposite is there's so much to choose from that you never fully commit to a single approach. You'll program hop from one workout plan or one diet plan to another without following through to the very end because you just have this fear of missing out. Maybe this one isn't quite as good, or you heard someone else say hyped up rave reviews about another approach and you want to jump on that. So you're always chasing the next shiny object. But I think the biggest issue that comes from having an abundance of information out there is the confusion that comes from it all, especially when there's a lot of contradictory information out there and a lot of different contradictory approaches. When you look at nutrition, you got people who rave about the carnivore diet, then you got other people who are raving about the vegetarian diet or vegan diet, which are complete opposites. When it comes to weight training, you got some people raving about full body routines and other people raving about body part split routines. You got people who love HIIT, high intensity interval training, and other people love steady state cardio. So there's always extremes, and of course there's always something in the middle there. So how do you cope with this abundance of information? So it's not so much the abundance of information that's the problem there, it's how you handle that information. And I encourage you to handle it with an open mind, a healthy fascination and sense of curiosity, and more than anything, a heightened sense of awareness. So whatever you choose to follow, if a certain approach appeals to you, do so with that heightened sense of awareness to pay attention to how your body responds. That is the absolute most important factor in all of this. Few different factors that are really important. Does it suit you, your personality, your lifestyle? So those are factors that can help influence the decision. But once you make that decision, you really need to have that heightened sense of awareness to how your body is responding. Now, when we're talking about weight training in particular, yeah, there's a lot of people who have different perspectives, different insights, different theories on what they think is best, and they may even have a lot of evidence and even research to back up their opinion and their own personal bias. We all have biases. But when you look at, there's a reason why when you go to the Lose Fat, Get Jacked website, you're going to see a variety of training splits that you can choose from. You're going to see full body workout routines. You're going to see body part split routines. You're going to see upper lower splits, push pull leg splits, upper lower push pull leg splits. You're going to see some hybrid training approaches that incorporate a variety of different training splits into one. So there's a reason why I have a variety on there. It's because they all work. And really, it should all come down to having fun. Yeah, we're all going to have certain preferences and understanding that those preferences may change over time. I used to solely focus on body part split routines for years and years and years, and I despised full body routines. And even when I started having more of an open mind with my training splits about 12, 13 years ago, I still, like, whenever I did a full body routine, I was like, this just isn't quite for me. But now I'm at a point where I absolutely freaking love full body routines, and it's probably my greatest preference out of all of the training splits that are out there. So it can evolve over time, in part due to your lifestyle, in part in like how many different other activities you're incorporating into your life, and just having, again, that heightened sense of awareness to how your body is responding. For myself personally, I used to think my body responded incredibly well to high volume training, and now I'm realizing my body responds a lot better to kind of a lower volume training approach. Is it in part due to my age, the number of years I've been training, how well I'm recovering, especially when you're looking at all the other activities I'm taking part in? Yeah, all those factors come into play. But when I'm honest with how I felt when I was performing high volume workouts there, yeah, it was taking a toll. Like I always felt my body felt fatigued at times. I always felt like that subtle fatigue, muscle soreness all the time. Whereas now I'm like not sore. I don't really want to be sore at all because it has a negative impact on the other activities that I want to perform through the week. So again, this is my bias where I'm at right now, where I'm really embracing this more holistic approach. But I had a bias in the past where all I wanted to focus on was weight training, bodybuilding, and I loved being in the gym 6 days per week. Whereas now I'm like, 3 to 4 days per week is fantastic for weight training, and I want to incorporate a lot of other activities that are going to help me build my best body, kind of take a more holistic, well-rounded approach so I can feel my best, perform my best in all aspects of life, not just in the gym there. So that's when it comes to the weight training. Just have an open mind with all the different training splits and give it another shot. Like I said, like the first time I did a full body routine, I didn't necessarily like it. Even the second time wasn't as good. But the more I started incorporating it into my overall yearly training plan, the more I started enjoying it. And that's the thing, like I really enjoy utilizing a variety of training splits throughout the year because I think they all have benefit. It allows me to vary the training frequency that I'm hitting each muscle group and paying attention to how my body responds. When it comes to nutrition, you're going to hear a lot of, when someone finds a diet plan that really works for them, whether it's a fad or not, they tend to rave about it. They are super excited. Maybe they've tried everything before and this is finally the thing that worked for them. It may pique your curiosity. And if it does sound, you know what, that does kind of fit my personal preferences, it does kind of fit my lifestyle, maybe I'll give it a shot, have an open mind with it, but pay attention to how your body responds. I encourage you not to get caught up in the hype and the excitement of someone else, because again, what's really comes down to is it's the most important thing is how your body is responding to it. And really, in the big picture, like in the past, I've experimented with a variety of dietary approaches, whether it was carb cycling, calorie cycling, intermittent fasting, a variety of different types of approaches of intermittent fasting, paleo. Like I've tried a bunch of different approaches, just more than anything out of that sense of curiosity, fascination. I've had clients who have followed it, and I want to make sure that I've gained some insights from that experience as well, so I can kind of share the experience with them, my personal experiences with them, and what I think may be best suited and what's in their best interest. But really what I prefer is just to simply build upon and improve upon your own natural eating tendencies. You don't have to make a drastic overhaul with your nutrition in order to lose fat and get lean. And really, when you're looking at setting yourself up for the long-term success, it's just, you don't want to do an overhaul where you may not be sticking with that over the long term. Whereas if you're just like, okay, I'm going to improve the quality of foods that I'm consuming. I'm going to manage my portion control better. I'm going to manage how, like, any triggers in my life that may cause me to overeat. I'm going to get better at that. You start improving upon those things, you can continue to eat the way you've been eating, and it's a gradual improvement over time that just becomes more and more natural and sustainable over the long term. So whether you're losing fat, maintaining your weight, or trying to build muscle, the foods and the meals that you're going to eat are going to be consistent across the board. It's just going to be the quantity of those foods that's going to change. So that's where I really prefer to just simply take what you're currently eating and make those subtle improvements. Take advice from others. Like I have a new client right now who knows one of my other clients who is really great at consuming high volume foods, which make him feel more satiated inside. I'm like, that's great. And it's working for this new client as well. He's really enjoying that feeling of satisfaction, and his stomach is full, but it's lower in calories overall. So a lot more veggies and lean proteins. So he's able to manage his appetite a lot better. But I'm always reminding him, like, is this going to be how you want to eat for the rest of your life? So don't just eat a certain way to lose weight and then think, I'm going to go back to my old eating habits or how I prefer to eat after I lose that weight. Try to focus on building your nutrition habits now, designing your lifestyle in a way that's going to serve you best now. So yes, an abundance of information, and this is my opinions. These are my thoughts, my views on my own personal experiences, and 35 plus years of lifting experience, 25 plus years of coaching experience. So based on all of that input there, all the evidence that I've come across and how I immerse myself in the study of this practice here, that's what I prefer. These are my thoughts and opinions based on what I've studied, the kind of clients that I've worked with, myself personally. Whereas every other coach out there is going to have their own kind of personal experiences, their own types of clients, and where they've gained their information from, their education from. So there's a lot of differences out there. And I think that's a beautiful thing if you approach it in a sense that there's no one way. There's no single best way to lose fat and get jacked. There's a variety of ways to approach this, and it can evolve over time as you evolve, as you become more aware of what's going to suit your body best. I hope you found value in this. Look forward to catching you in the next video, and look forward to hearing your comments and insights down below.